Now we are discuss about smart card. Smart card means what you have. Okay. So something in your possession. So what that can be? As I said earlier, also like a USB. Also that a card. It can be a card key. Okay. It can be a smart card or ATM card or bank card. Okay. And also a password generator. Okay. So I will discuss a little about password generator later. But if there is a car and you have the key, so only then you can get in the car and ride the car. Okay. And also in ATM card, like we have to enter that card. Okay. So that is one kind of authentication, like you are the correct person. But although you have to enter the password, we'll discuss that later. Okay. So let's think about a password generator. So password generator is like a machine, okay, or it's like a just calculator. So suppose Alice have a password generator, and it has a built-in key. And Bob is like a server. He also knows the key. Okay. So now Alice is saying to Bob like, "I am Alice." Then what Bob will do? Bob will say, "Okay, prove it." So he actually sent a random number to Alice. So what Alice do? Alice sent that number with a secret PIN number, which actually Alice knows, to the password generator. And password generator, it replies some values. Okay, it can be some hash value. And finally, Alice sent this value to Bob. So what will happen here actually? So um, Bob knows the K, Bob knows the R, so he actually calculate effort by itself and compare with the effort sent by Alice. So if it is same, that means who actually sent this request, he have this password generator and knows the pin also. So in that way, Bob can authenticate like this is Alice. Okay. So sending R from Bob sends R to Alice. So this is like a challenge. Okay. So this is a challenge. Like prove it. This is R. So it means you have to use your password generator and send me the value. Then Alice like do these things with this password generator and send this to. Okay. So at the end, Alice has the. So it means when Bob compared these two and have positive result, that means Alice have the password and he knows the pin. Okay. So in this way actually you can think about a smart card. Okay, so same thing will be happening here. So now let's discuss about some other security issues like a two-factor authentication. So two-factor means like what we have learned in access control is something you know, that is password, something you have, that is smart card, pen drive, and something you are, I mean your biometrics. So we can combine any two of it. For example, in ATM card, what we do, we insert the card and give a PIN number. That means that is you have and you know. And credit card also, we have a card and a signature. Okay, so you have this card and this signature is a bio, so what you are. Password generator, so you have that device for generating password and you know the pin. Okay, so in this way actually we use two-factor authentication, like in Gmail, Yahoo Mail, or some other website. They use two-factor authentication, like you put the password, but what they'll do, they will send a pin code to your mobile phone. Okay, so you have, if you have that phone, you can just insert that number to the phone, from the phone in the website, so it can authenticate yourself. Okay, so that is two-factor authentication. Okay, let's discuss about a little bit on single sign-on. Like sometime you might find it is very troublesome to enter your authentication information repeatedly. Okay, like always, whenever you visit a site, you have to give this authentication information. Like we are browsing a web, so maybe you can visit many websites, so which actually require different password. So, uh, so it is a burden for a user or for you to remember different password for many different websites. Okay, or maybe if you use same password in different website, it might compromise the security. Okay, so a more convenient solution that would be have, if you authenticate once and have a successful result that automatically follow whenever you goes in the internet. So initially you authenticate yourself, and after that whatever you do, you actually don't need any authentication. Okay, so that is actually called sign up. Okay, so the initial authentication requires your participation. That means maybe you give your fingerprint or something, password, etc. But the subsequent authentication would happen behind the scenes. Okay, so you actually don't know what is happening here. Your browser is actually doing those things. Okay, so there is a protocol. We will discuss that later. That is Kerberos, which actually use this single sign-on protocol. So if you use this protocol, initially you authenticate yourself, and rest of the things you don't. And in internet we use Microsoft use Passport, and there are some Liberty alliances, they use this single sign-on tip. And lastly, discuss about web cookies. So what is actually cookies? It's not some biscuits or something. So suppose you are surfing a website. So those websites often provide you or your browser with some web cookies, which is actually a simple numeric value that is stored and managed in your browser. Okay. So whenever you go to that website, it also have that cookies. Okay. Uh, so whenever you go into the website, so you have the cookie, and this cookie automatically passed by your browser to that website, and then that website can access its database and remember important information about you. Suppose I log into the um, Amazon.com, I look for some t-shirt or something else. So whenever I log in again, so they will just look at for my that cookies, and they will find, okay, I was looking for some t-shirt, so they will show me, okay, welcome Iqbal, this is some, there are some new collection of t-shirt or something. So this is actually how web cookie works. Okay, so this is like a state across the session, so they actually maintain a state across the session. But whenever we use HTTP protocol, which is stateless protocol, so in that case these cookies are used to maintain the state of the session. Okay, so in that case, in that sense, cookies can act as a single sign-on method on the website. Okay, but this is a very weak form of authentication. Like so, like some these web cookies are stored in your web browser, so you can find that those information, right? So maybe someone take those web cookies and set it in his system, or to the install that web cookies and install in his system. So whenever he log into the system or visit that any website, they will show those things. So there are some privacy issues in that cases. Okay, so this is the end of access control authentication part. Thank you.